Hypothyroidism is one of the most underdiagnosed and poorly treated conditions in America. And that's a shock because 20 million Americans suffer with hypothyroidism. And guys, most of them are women. One of the biggest problems is that a thyroid medication does not correct the issue. Low levels of T4 is often caused by an autoimmune attack to the hormone itself or a downstream conversion issue. Some of the patients that I have with hypothyroid who've been on medications for as long as 20 years or more still feel terrible despite their blood work saying that everything is okay. I'm here to tell you the problem lies at the cellular receptors, which are no longer responding to T4 or T3. So if you want to fix your thyroid, you first have to fix your cells, and here are 5 simple steps to do that. The first is to remove toxins because they ultimately damage and degrade your cell walls. This includes getting rid of sugars and grains and foods with additives. A general rule of thumb is if it's in a box or it's packaged, it's going to damage your cell walls. You also have to understand you need to get your hormones back on track, which means to stop eating animals that have been fed different hormones, specifically medications or antibiotics. The second step is to replace those foods with good, clean nutrients, organic vegetables, particularly greens, and focusing on things like grass-fed beef and wild-caught fish, free-range chicken. Third, you're going to need to start to repair those cell walls so that the receptors start to work. The reason for this is so many of us have damaged our cellular membranes to the point where we start throwing hormones at them and nothing works anymore. Your thyroid hormones are critical for things like weight loss and energy and metabolism. So as your cells are made of fat, remember that the more fat you eat, the more your cells will repair themselves. That's going to be things like omega-3 and omega-9s. So foods like wild-caught salmon, tuna, mackerel, avocados, nuts and seeds, grass-fed beef, and even grass-fed butter can help you to rebuild the cell walls and to repair the receptors. Next, we need to make sure you take care of your gut, your microbiome. There are studies that show that when you have a really good balance of bacteria in your digestive system, your thyroid function can increase as much as 20%. So a healthy gut will lead to a healthy thyroid. And to do this, we need to make sure we stay as far away from antibiotics as possible and eat fermented foods like kimchi, sauerkraut, and take probiotics. Lastly, of course, you want to decrease your stress. Stress for a long period of time tends to fry our adrenal glands, and there's something called the hypothalamic pituitary axis, which is indirectly linked to your thyroid function. Your adrenal glands become fatigued, so the pituitary gland starts to slow down, and that's also where our stimulator, TSH, comes from. So you need to make sure that you do things like moderate exercise, or meditate, or pray, or do whatever you do for sort of quiet time. Pursue things like hobbies and make sure you just relax as much as possible. And if you follow these 5 steps, you'll see a noticeable change in your energy, your weight, the thickness of your hair, your mood, and everything that has to do with your thyroid function. If you'd like to get involved and learn more ways to naturally heal from thyroid conditions, check out AskDrEarnst.com/events. It's a great way to stay updated with all the various events that we're hosting here in the Charlotte area. We have 3 or 4 thyroid events a year, and I would love for you to be able to at least get connected to one of them. Thanks so much.